Sometimes we live like champions, and sometimes we just can't win. Sometimes our record's at the top of the charts or the discount bargain bin. Through almost 20 years of touring, we've remained partners, brothers, and friends. Yeah, I might be crazy, but I'm sure we're gonna be big time before it all ends. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maxwell Ivy, Max to my friends, Mr. Midway to some of you out there. And this is what I'm calling the first episode of the Midway Showcase. I'm tentatively calling it Calliope Corner until something better comes up. And if you have a better name to suggest, then feel free to use the contact form. The purpose of these videos is going to be to showcase people's equipment and hopefully introduce you to some of the leaders and personalities of the amusement industry. And eventually I will be doing them on site and in person. But for now, this will be the next best thing. After I tell you a little bit about this week's ride, I will also show you a video, and then I'll have a few more comments about it. So let's get to it. What I have this week is a Chance Park Carousel. It's in very good mechanical and cosmetic condition, currently set up and operating at a mall in South Carolina. It's about 4 years old, and the selling price of it is $89,999. The carousel itself is 20 feet in diameter and 12 feet in height. Counting the fence line, which is made of steel, it takes up a circle of about 26 feet. It has 14 horses and one chariot, and according to the manufacturer's specifications on the ride, it can ride up to 16 adults and 14 children. However, I believe that is referring to having an adult standing next to each child that's riding. If you use their numbers, you can come up with a capacity of 720 per hour, and that's with a ride cycle of 2 to 2.5 minutes for each ride. Now, if you've been in the business a long time, I'm sure I don't have to explain that those are the manufacturer's estimates on the numbers. What you can actually receive working it on a regular basis, I don't have to explain that to you. If you are new to the industry, let's just say that the manufacturers have a incentive to show that the rides will ride more people per load, because obviously the higher the capacity, the higher the potential gross of a piece is. In my opinion, I would say 400 to 500 riders per hour is probably a more accurate, reasonable number. The ride requires only 12 kW, kilowatts of power to operate. That includes the lighting. The fence is steel, excuse me, and it has what's called a soft ribbon top. That's something they put on carousels and circular rides like this when they're going to be operated indoors or in a covered location. The ride has been on its current location for 4 years, and the video I'm fixing to play for you was taken approximately 4 months ago. You can get a good idea of what kind of shape the ride is actually in. And then after you watch the video, I do have a couple of things to point out about the ride, and hopefully I'll answer some questions before you ask them. Thank you, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Go ahead.
Look better if all the lights are working.
Yeah, we can replace some lights.
What did you guys do for this?
A lot. let's show the panel here.
Well, I'm back. I'm sure that you noticed that it's a nice little carousel in very good condition. There are just a couple of things that I'm sure occurred to you. First, it is making a squeaking noise while running. The noise is coming from the horses and the mechanism that causes them to go up and down. I personally don't think it's a major issue for two reasons. First, if you listen to the whole video, you can tell that the longer the ride runs, the lower the sound goes. So the sound is going away, which means it's just a matter of being greased. The other thing is, if you tune out the noise from the squeaking and just listen to the rest of the ride operation, you can hear that it runs smoothly with no other growling or screeching noises of any kind. Now, you would probably think that being on a permanent location like in a mall that the ride is going to stay in perfect condition. Well, the truth of the matter is, even in a location where the environment is controlled and the temperature is the same and the humidity is the same, a ride still has to be maintained, and I believe that with a little grease that the noise will go away. As for the lights at the top of the ride, there are a few bulbs out, but the owners have assured me that there are no electrical problems with the ride, and it's just a matter of replacing a few light bulbs. And since they are hoping to sell the ride, it's something that would be more easily done during the process of taking it down and reinstalling it on its new location. I think it's a good solid ride, and since it has been indoors its entire life, there really shouldn't be any other problems with the ride other than what you can see in the video. If you are interested in buying the ride, I do need to mention that you will be responsible for dismantling it, transporting it, and reinstalling it on your location. The owners may be able to help with that for an additional fee, as they operate quite a few rides in different locations, but that's not a certainty. I can contact some people that are in the business of installing rides and get you in touch with them if that needs to be an option. The owners have not said anything about a buyer from outside the United States, or if they would be willing to put it into a container for someone from outside the country, but I believe that for a serious buyer that shouldn't be a problem to arrange. I don't know whether it would take one or two containers. I would think probably one 40-foot container should take care of it, but that is something I will be checking into. You can see some photos of the ride on my website, and if you have any questions about this ride or anything else listed on the Midway Marketplace, feel free to call or text me at 979-215-1770, or email me at maxwell@midwaymarketplace.com, or visit the website midwaymarketplace.com and use the contact form. You can see on the sidebar there that I have links to all the major social media networks, so you're welcome to connect with me there and send me a direct message that way. Very easy to get a hold of if you're looking to buy a ride, ask questions, or if you've been thinking about selling some of your own equipment and you want to discuss the possibility of listing it on the website. And if you would like to be interviewed for the site, either through email or via Skype or in person, to be featured on one of the upcoming episodes of this show, then I would very much love to hear from you. Well, I know it's short, but this is just a beginning. I hope that you will bear with me and follow the show. Eventually, I do hope for it to be about 45 minutes to an hour each episode. I do hope to visit people either at their homes or businesses, their winter quarters, or where they're operating the equipment at a fair, festival, amusement park, whatever. And I really hope that this is going to be a way to help people spotlight the quality of their equipment and find buyers for it. And if you have any ideas on anything else I can do to help sell people's equipment, I would love to hear from you. Well, that's the end for this episode, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you, and you all take care out there now.